Can you hear us now? All right.
Oh, we were silent and
We were
talking.
silent. Are we good now, Nate? sorry, sorry if you can hear us out there. We're gonna get this figured out here. Just one second.
Is it still?
We're good. All right, all right. So we got to re-intro a little bit here our show. So, yeah, we're back. Thanks for being here with us live. If you're watching live, this is our second week doing this show live, and we've been doing this for a while now. But yeah, it's interesting what we have going on.
I like it, Mike, because if you want to go out there and watch some of the stuff in the past, go out to 511 Media Group on YouTube, and we don't pull any of our old stuff off. And we just try to improve more and more as we go through. So,
Well, part of that, Tom, I think it's good for people to see the journey, where we came from, where we're going, and because I think a lot of people, because also we teach how to do this stuff too,
Yes.
right? So, I think if you're watching this and you're like, hey, they got some fancy stuff on their camera now, we do, but we got a solid team. We've been doing this a while, but go back and look where we started, because wherever you're at, you can join that journey as well. So
we started doing this show live as we were recording it. We started doing it live, but when we first started, Mike, we were going live.
yeah, not this show, but
Our lunch break show. So you can go out and check that out. So hey, we're coming to you from Bakersfield, California, as we have termed it, Chinafornia. We have our great comrade Newsom, who is the czar of California, or Chinafornia, as you would know. Can we get in trouble for this, Mike?
I don't know. You guys let us know in the comments if you think we're going to get in trouble for this too. I'd love to hear from y'all.
I don't think we've ever shied away from our state. Here we live in Bakersfield, California, which is a conservative portion of California, and I think there's a couple other pockets. I know Comrade Newsom kind of blames us for the recall. We got some great conservative politicians in town. We have the former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, a good friend of ours, and Senator Shannon Grove, which she's doing great work out there. So we're coming here today, and we're going to rant about a few things. And we're going to start off with our great state of California. It's a beautiful state, Mike.
It is.
Hey,
it's a beautiful state, beautiful weather, geography. You got some great people.
Well, hey, I get, I when I was young, I was in a sport called bodybuilding, and I won the Mr. California title, which no one lets me live down. But it was more prestigious for me back then. I mean, because it's now kind of has a negative connotation. Bodybuilding is doesn't have a bright light anymore. You got a lot of drugs in the sport.
Yeah.
And the state of California is just going downhill, but the state itself is beautiful. It's got wonderful agricultural landscape. It's got beautiful cities, except for San Francisco.
Well, it used to be a great city.
It used to be a great city, but as Vivek Ramaswamy has told the Communist News Network reporter, is that they wanted to talk about a word Trump used, and he wouldn't buy into the trickery of the mainstream media. They're trying to trap him into a word without context. He said he wouldn't do it, but he did define the word vermin as the people in San Francisco that have been just basically homeless on the street, pooping on the street, leaving their trash on the street, their needles on the street, because they can get free needles, they can get free drugs. I mean, Comrade Newsom is making it pretty accessible there. But he took care of the city this week because he had a special visitor. I think we have a picture of him because I think it looks like a young teenage boy meeting his superstar. I think Newsom's meeting Xi Jinping and
or could be his employer.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Biden's employer. and he cleaned up the city. He didn't make any qualms of this, Mike. He basically said, people are saying I'm cleaning up the city because of the visit of the Chinese president. He goes, I am. And my mom told me something a long time ago, the house should be clean for the family, not just because special people are coming over. So, Comrade Newsom, you should keep the city of San Francisco looking spotless now. So if you go back and show the streets, and he looks like he has cages up or a wall. Better yet, California built a wall inside San Francisco to get the people from getting back on the street and making a mess of it until Comrade Xi Jinping leaves San Francisco. But there again, as he's there, he's causing quite the stir. We had a celebration for him, and we got a picture here showing the streets of San Francisco. And I wonder if they had to pay these people to show up, or they just showed up. But this picture bothers me. Should bother you too if you're out there watching. We're in a city of California, and it should be American flags that are predominant, but it's not. Look, we have the Chinese flag that's predominant, and guess what? There's a little American flag right there in the middle. So you're kind of showing off an American city, but you're kind of branding it a communist dictator.
I mean, Tom, this
country.
is an enemy of
It
the
is.
U.S. and we're
It is.
welcoming them and doing a parade and doing all that. Like, what the hell is going on?
Mike, I don't know. All we can do is show it like it is, but it seems like they want just California to be Chinafornia. And I think they've had some problems this week, and we didn't use any of the footage this week because we want to make sure it's coming from reasonable sources. But they've got a little problem with President Biden because he is old and has dementia. And I guess he's caused quite a few spoof clips out there on the internet. You can watch them. And I think Secretary Bilkin in one of them looked like he was just shocked. He was like he got stunned or saw a ghost. But Biden dropped a few truth bombs. And I think he called the Chinese guy a dictator, which he is.
Yeah.
But I think you're supposed to cover that up when he's visiting America. So this next story is a troublesome story, Mike, because it happened here in California, and it bothers us because I do have a CCW, which is a concealed carry permit, and California is not a very safe place anymore. Let's play the clip.
Okay. Yeah.
Men, masked, hopped over the wall, ran down on me with guns, and the most terrifying part was my wife and my 5-month-old baby were on the other side of that door. In an effort to protect my family, I drew my gun and returned gunfire. As a result of that night, the California government has temporarily suspended my ability to concealed carry. This is an attempt to make me vulnerable at a time that is critical that I maintain my ability to protect my family. They'd rather leave me out there to dry and let my family become a statistic.
Absolutely.
My situation is unique because it happened at my front door, all on camera. But this happens time and time again all over the country. It doesn't get caught on camera. And people sweep it under the rug because it doesn't behoove their political agenda. The fact is, evil will always exist, but we need our ability to defend ourselves and keep our families safe from violent people. Just a few months ago, robbers broke into my home looking for easy money. Luckily, none of us were home. But then they came back. I used to walk in this house, into my beautiful house that I built for my family, and now I walk into a war zone. Criminal is someone who doesn't follow the laws.
It's the entire state of
They
California.
don't care about gun laws. They don't care about safety classes. They don't care about being qualified to be able to shoot. California government thinks my story is a myth. They don't think people like me actually exist. Right here in LA, an innocent LA father was killed because District Attorney Gascon released a violent criminal back into the streets. And this is just one of the dozens of cases right here in this city. When an incident happened, there's only two things I can rely on: myself and the Second Amendment. And now that's in jeopardy. The leftist gun grabbers do not care about your safety. The NRA does. My name is Vince Ritchie, an Italian-American from the Bronx, New York.
You know something about it we don't.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
But this should bother you. It bothers me because the Second Amendment is there for us to be able to protect ourselves. Here on video, he's walking to his house. He has a cup of coffee. Guy comes up with a gun visible, and he turns around. He's smart because he, I don't know if he purposely spilt his coffee on the guy, but it took him off his game. He pulled his gun. The guy turned around and ran, which just shows he's just a coward.
Well, I mean, they all are.
They
right?
all are. I mean, it's like, come on out there. It's like you bring a gun to a gunfight, and then when somebody else has an equal force, which is a gun, you turn around and run. You just want to have a bigger gun. And that's the sad part about these low-life criminals out there, Mike.
Well, the thing is, the state's trying to de-arm the actual law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. You're going to have to figure out another plan. People are not going to give up their weapons, especially after what we've seen happen in Israel. Not going to happen. I'm just telling you, got to figure out another way to do this thing. But there again, you got a law-abiding citizen who came out from New York, built a beautiful home. Now he's got it in an occupied city called Los Angeles. It's occupied by Democrats who are letting the criminals run rampant, not only in that city, but all the other cities in California. Maybe I should quit saying that, Mike. I'm getting convicted here. But there again, we know this is going on out there, and these are things that we just want you to be aware of. And
we're trying to bring it from our perspective, from really you guys know that we're Christians, so we're bringing it from a Christian perspective, hopefully.
But you have to bring faith into politics now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you seen the new was Speaker of the House, right? Yeah. I mean, that was the first thing he did was get on his knees, right?
And gets ridiculed for it.
Yeah,
because people don't want faith. At least they don't want a faith that is something that was founded in our country and in our Constitution, in our Bill of Rights. They just want to go against that. But then again, we have what's been going on around the country. We don't have a lot of video on that today outside of the Jewish march in Washington, D.C. Did you notice the contrast, Mike, between that and the one that the pro-Palestinians or pro-Hamas marches have been? They have been predominantly violent in nature.
Yeah, no, very much so.
Well, you even have the DNC, which is the Democratic National Committee. Their building was pretty much occupied, I do believe, last night or the night before, by 150 pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas protesters wanting a ceasefire, and they wouldn't let them out. That was they were almost hostage inside the Democratic National Committee building, and it's by people that they're protecting. People are going to have to wake up at one point and realize that this isn't something that's going away. The internet's full of people that feel empowered to tear down the posters of kidnapped victims and hostages that are being held in Gaza. I mean, there's no kidding about it. They're being held, and they've been killed too. And this is something you just go out there. People are saying that Israel's making the videos up, but now they've been able to show them. They've released their 43-minute video of the terrible things these terrorists, these barbarians did during October 7th. And people are now having to face the fact that they did it. They want to say, well, they didn't really do it. Now Israel just came out and said, here you go. They've done it. Now they're showing pictures of them in the hospital with weapons. So they're weaponizing the hospitals.
Yeah.
And they're putting their citizens in harm's way. So why not just pull out of the hospitals and just stand up and fight like the men you propose you are?
Yeah. And I want to do something, Tom, if it's okay right now. We got people that are watching in on this. I want to open up, and because this is a live show that we've made it now, right? Mm-hmm. I want to open it up to like comments and questions from all of you guys. Like if you're watching this live, let us know that you're here live. If you're watching replay, let us know you're watching replay, and we're going to go back and watch for questions, right? Yeah. But we can interact with y'all's questions now. So that's one of the reasons that we did this live.
You just disagree with us, throw it up there. I mean, I don't care if people disagree with us. I mean, it's something that
everybody's got their own opinion.
They do. Right? We got ours. That's why we pay for this time, right? Am I getting paid? No.
Maybe.
No. So there again, I mean, if you're out there and you have a different opinion, that's why we live in a free country right now, temporarily, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're out there, hey, let's play the Jesse Walters video, because this is a very important thing. If you don't think this is important, you look at the implications. I don't care who you vote for. You want to make sure your vote counts. This is just recent news.
On camera allegedly stuffing stacks of absentee ballots in drop boxes around Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And we're told this.
One of the women in the video is a government employee named Wanda Pataki.
No, this is
we'll have more on her tomorrow. Ballot dumping is illegal in Connecticut. You can only drop off ballots for your mom or your dad, not for hundreds of strangers.
Yeah.
A judge appointed by a Democrat called it shocking and said they need to do the primary election all over again. Writing this. The volume of ballots so mishandled is such that it calls the result of the primary election into serious doubt and leaves the court unable to determine the legitimate result of the primary. Now, earlier this year, a politician in New Jersey was charged with personally collecting large numbers of mail-in ballots, opening them, and destroying the ones that voted against him.
Of course he would.
Oh, and then creating new ones that voted for him. So, we have large numbers of mail-in ballots floating around, being handled by God knows who. Seems ripe for fraud. Ben Proto is the Connecticut Republican Party chairman. So, Ben, what are we going to do about this?
I love when people get there.
Well, Jesse, first thing we have to do is we need to elect more Republicans into the Connecticut legislature, because the legislature had the opportunity just a month ago to address this issue after this video came out. This, of course, after our governor said we shouldn't jump to conclusions when we watch this video. Jim Himes, our congressman who represents Bridgeport, has been eerily silent on this. And the legislature, Democrats in the legislature, refuse to address the issue. And so, this is not the first time we've had to redo primaries in Bridgeport. We had to do it last year in the state representative race. We did it 4 years ago in a mayor's race. We did it 6 years ago in a council race three times because of absentee ballot fraud. So this is not something new in Bridgeport. It's time to get these boxes off the streets, get them gone.
I mean, this is,
they don't need them.
This is crazy. Look, I mean, she's going back for more. Now, this could be true that she has, I don't know, 30 members of her family that she's dropping off absentee ballots for. I mean, I saw the one stack was this thick.
What's really funny, Jesse, is that both sides were doing it.
Yeah.
Both the John Gomes campaign and the Ganim campaign. And what's interesting now is the State Elections Commission is now up to 21 different counts of, or 21 different complaints regarding this election, including whether or not the current mayor actually lives in the city of Bridgeport.
Oh, okay. So you can basically fraudulently vote, and you don't even have to be a resident of the state to get elected. Things in Connecticut look great. Well, thank you very much. We're going to have a follow-up report on, we believe it's Wanda. We're going to, trust me, she was running scared. We're going to have that for you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much.
That's something he did. I started seeing some things that people were asking, what did Joe Biden accomplish? I go, well, he's accomplished inflation, high interest rates, high grocery prices.
Oh, it's crazy how much we're spending. It's crazy.
You know, I mean, unemployment he takes credit for or doesn't take credit for, but I mean, it just fluctuates off and on. I mean, so Joe Biden, great job. We have two wars going on.
Yeah, and we're actively involved in them, right?
Yeah. So good job. It only took 4 years to go down the toilet. So what the heck? You know, as we go through and we see crime round and round, but this thing in Las Vegas, that really bothered me. You know, there again, we have a lot of our church family in Las Vegas.
We do.
And there was a young man that was killed. And, you know, and I think they were going to go out and they were going to, I think the assumption was that there was going to be a fair fight. And I think two of them squared off for a group, or our person was allegedly said you took my headphones and a vape pen or something.
Yeah.
So they squared off, and I think that's the way it started. But then where it got awry was that 15 other or 10 other people jumped in on the fight. And let's just call it what it is. The boy that was beat and then subsequently died was white. And the other group was predominantly of darker melatonin, which would be skin color. Now, if this would have been reversed, you would have had riots in the streets.
Yeah.
But this is hardly getting coverage unless you're seeing a show like this or you're listening to, you know, I think it's pretty interesting that the sheriff has made it a looks like he's really on a mission to find the rest of them, because I think they've arrested 8 of these young kids, because there's only a couple over 16 years of age, and they're trying them as adults, which they should. And then the rest of they're going to have to figure it out. But they killed a kid, and you can hear you if you want to watch the video, you can see it out there, and you can watch it. And there was a father that had to take his son off of life support, and it was a beatdown. I mean, where are the days? I mean, Mike, I think you're a little younger than I am. And so I remember the days, and my wife's in education, and boys still do this today. They punch each other around, and then they make up and they're friends, and they seem to get over it. But nowadays it seems like there aren't anything, and it has to be gang violence.
I'm going to post that link in the comments for the people watching this.
Yeah, so you guys go out there and watch this video of the this fight. So there again, you've got, if people don't see this stuff, Mike, and if people aren't showing it, and you're having to find it in obscure corners, that's what I love about our friends at the Daily Wire and our friends at Turning Point USA.
Yeah,
they're coming out, because if the mainstream media doesn't give it attention because it doesn't fit their narrative or their agenda.
Yeah, well, that's what's crazy. We're not getting news, we're getting an agenda.
Yes, we are. So you have to go out there, and there again, I think we've shared this before, that we do agree with Comrade Newsom, the czar of California, on the fact that everybody's listening to their own echo chamber.
Oh yeah, well, that's very true.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is. What else we got out there, Mike?
I think that's it for today.
Right on.
Okay. So you guys, like I said before, if you're watching this, we're gonna start making a point to make this more interactive. Let us know, are you watching it live? Are you watching the replays? Let us know your thoughts and comments and questions, and we're gonna start making a point to answer those too.
You got to make sure you get involved.
Yeah.
As you see, and there again, I'll say this, because you may think that I'm down on the state of California. I'm down on the governing body of the state of California, not our state. There's great people that live here. There really is, Mike. And the state has great potential, but not when you're being led by the group that's in charge right now.
That's right. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Keep watching. Let us know what you think. Have a great day. God bless.
Yeah.